Hey everybody, welcome to another night of Zelda 1 Randomizer. This is Adaginos, and I'm here with none other than Radio Rich G. How you doing?
Feeling pretty good. Ready for a very exciting race.
Yeah, who do we got here tonight?
Looks like we got the Godfather himself, fcoughlin versus Maligord in a second round matchup. Again, looking to be like a really good match here today.
Godfather Mummy indeed. The creator, the destroyer, fcoughlin. And Maligord, who is absolutely improved. I remember watching his, I did comms on his first match in the last tournament, and the progress since then has been astronomical. So this should be, especially with these flag sets, a very good race.
Yeah, a lot can happen depending on your routing. You could always get stuck in a different level while somebody else is clearing 9. This is a very interesting see the way this works. The Swiss flags are so much fun to watch. It really levels the playing field.
Yeah, we've had some pretty awesome races here, and this week especially, some really close races, some twists, some turns, and it's just one of those things where you find level 7, and you're like, I really don't want to do this, but what if I do?
There was that match last night where somebody made the gamble and went to level 7, ended up with the bow, and ended up winning last night. I believe that was Paratrooper, right? Who ended up winning.
Oh, that. Yeah. I did catch some of that race, and we have a really nice start spot right there in the desert. Gives you access to 3 Armo screens very quickly.
Yeah, always good to clear out this east side when you can. Hopefully get some bobs and really clear it all the way out.
Lu Pa?
And Fred making his way up north and Maligord south. We've already got a diversion. Here we go.
Yeah, really interesting heading to the desert shop down here and not going back to the forest to check those 2 Armo screens. But again, with the desert start, there's so many different ways that you can go. And we do see an up A. Well, maybe we'll see him. Yeah, he's going to head over to the forest now.
How important is it that you're routing in this? Does it really matter? Is it okay to backtrack? Do you find yourself getting mixed up at all?
Well, I mean, a lot of it depends on your tracking. Backtrack. Oh my goodness, any key for free. I approve.
Oh, always.
Routing is, you just want to make sure you don't waste a lot of time. And everybody's different. Some people will, the Armos are the thing. As we see level 5 here in the forest for Maligord. We got to go to the Armos. Every single one of them, find out what that item is. Other people will hit every open cave until they find a sword. I'm a big proponent of hitting what I can, and if I find a candle, I'm going to burn along the way. If I find bombs, I'm going to bomb along the way, with or without a sword, because I don't want to take the time to go backwards.
Yeah, absolutely agree. It's important to, I guess, kind of go with the flow. That's the way I've been playing this game, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but I think more times than not, you're going to find yourself in better position if you were to just try to, if you can divert a little bit from your plan, make things a little easier on yourself.
Game trolling a little bit here as we see 2 keys on the floor after finding the any key.
Any key always really nice to find. That gives you a chance to just dive through every dungeon you can. And Fred picks up his any key. I like to find that if I get the any key early, I'm really looking for that red ring after that. I like my defense because my battle is a little off. But especially with these rooms like Maligord has here, where he's got the Vires and the Whiz Robes, real tough.
Oh, look at this. It's a free staircase room. It's just the transport. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I buy the blue ring. I'm that guy that if I have money, I'll buy a blue ring. Because even if you're like the best Zelda player ever, there are sometimes you're going to run into a situation or a room where you wish you had it.
Absolutely.
And the red ring is one of those items I truly feel is just too strong because it just lets you face tank literally everything. You don't have to think, you don't have to try, you just run through everything. And so, yeah, it's that definitely on the top of my list of things I want to find.
Level 5, not proven to be fruitful just yet, so Maligord's going to make his way out and do some more exploring, which I think is probably a pretty good idea at this point.
Yeah, not a whole lot you can do here without a sword to get through, and bombs, most likely, to get through some of these extra rooms. So I do like taking the time to explore it a little bit early, but definitely want to dip out after a little bit of investment.
I'm one of those people who really enjoy seeing the game not be so trolly. So I'm really hoping that it's early bow, early silvers, and it's a good race to 9. That's what I'm really hoping here.
Yeah, I mean, some of these races, again, it comes down to the luck factor of did you go to this or did you go to that, and Blue Land Mole is gonna be a big old nope, and we're gonna take an exit on out. But for sure, I like the close races when people have what they need. And then there are other ones like the race that I had where you had to dip out, go to 6, go here, go there in order to get all the stuff you needed. And if you just didn't do that, then there was no way that you were going to have any chance.
Yeah, my last race was the same way, where I had all the Triforces I need and then couldn't find the bow. And then I went to level 8 looking for 2 items, and none of them were the bow. And in the meantime, Taco had cleared out 9, and that was it.
Yeah, that's what makes these flags interesting, right? Is that the decision tree of I have 5 Triforces, do I go to 9? If you have the location of 9, it's hard to say no because you're kind of doing several things at once, especially if you have the book, right? Then you can get that hint for the silvers and, know whether or not it's there. And even if you don't, you can find Ganon, you can find Zelda. There's a lot of information that you can get out of that. So it's a really big decision point once you hit 5 Triforces.
Looks like the wand is the coast item, so good info for Fred. That's always nice to help with battle once you find a sword. Always good to have that double damage.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice item. We'll see if they take the time to go back for that. I don't know that it's super pertinent, but it's always nice to have that additional damage for sure.
Could come into play since level 5 itself is over there on the east side, right near the coast.
That's true. Thus far we've really only seen the northeast and the waterfall area. Finally getting over towards the normal vanilla start screen. So hopefully we'll find a sword soon.
Sword or a candle? We're starting to get to less open caves the more we move. It'd be really tough if it was all the way up in Death Mountain.
Oh, the favorite place on Earth. 25 for bombs isn't bad though.
And you pay that all day, every day if you have the cash, of course.
I think it's a tie between the Far Southwest and the Death Mountain Cave by Vanilla 9, for which I checked last. Usually I kind of alternate, but if it's in either one of those cases, at best, especially if I find an early candle, it's like 15-20 minutes before I get there.
Yeah, and I always find myself, because it's happened to me so many times, that I will actually move west before I'll go east, which is not a great play, but I always feel like I'm going to get trolled if I don't.
Got arrows for 88 and meat for 57, so not too bad on the prices there.
We still haven't seen any money secrets yet either. It's
no, you're right. We haven't.
It's just a very interesting seat so far. We're 7 minutes in. We don't have a candle. We don't have a sword. We have no money.
We have lots of Lionels, though.
I wish they would just throw those in the trash. I hate those things, especially in the overworld.
Yeah. There's some really bad screens, especially getting them by level 9 and such. Oh, talk about a red ring.
There we go.
That is something that I think you'll definitely end up going out of the way to get once the hearts are, acquired for such a thing.
Okay, 36 medium secret. Not bad.
Yeah, we might see Fred duck back in and buy some bombs. But man, free Eddie Key, free red ring. What else could you ask for? I mean, that just makes exploring so easy.
White sword on the second screen of level 1. Sounds like what we're headed for next.
Followed by a bow and silvers, I guess, would be on the coast, but we didn't get that this time.
Fred making his way west. Still no candle. Very interesting.
Yeah, so we're 8 minutes in. We haven't seen a sword. We've seen 1 secret cave, 3 bomb shops or 2 bomb shops, but no hearts, no candles, and 1 level. That's crazy.
And plenty of... Oh, Maligord takes a bot from the Lionels. That's frustrating.
That is, and it's one of those things where, is he going to go right in there? We have a candle for 75. Is he going to go right back to that same area? But he might actually just try to scroll, which would be kind of the easier way to get there to avoid that screen.
Yeah, both these players are very good. They're well adept at the scrolling and the ladder clips, so we shouldn't see too many things stop them in regards to those.
Yeah, I like this play because this lets you avoid that really bad screen. As Fred does finally find a candle, that bomb purchase paying off in spades.
Part of me was wondering if you take that heart to go scoop up that red ring.
Hey, looky there.
Offense now.
We were
on the west side.
just talking about that cave. And especially if I don't have a bomb, I hate going down there.
So Fred's got everything that he needs to do some real exploration now. And we'll make our way to the grave after this burn spot.
Yeah,
Maligord is up in the mountain, though.
He skipped a couple of burn spots. So I think he's going to go backwards here. Skip the grave for now, and it looks like he's going to head and maybe burn here and then go burn by start, maybe?
Okay.
Interesting pathing. I mean, I don't disagree. With only 3 bombs heading up towards the grave, you don't net a whole lot, whereas this way you can actually get a lot more coverage because you have a candle.
Maligord is in that Death Mountain open spot, and
hey!
build a candle. Okay.
So both caves paying off this time around. It will be interesting to see, though, how long it takes for him to get down towards that southwest, because now with the candle, you're going to start burning all sorts of stuff everywhere, and he gets a bomb drop, so it's going to be a bit.
Yeah, it'll be probably 20 minutes before he makes it back over to that sword.
But a 5th heart for Fred.
Oh, and there we go. There's a good spot right there.
Very
Always
nice.
a good level to find.
And the indie key making this super nice. Usually level 1 can be pretty difficult to deal with just because of the numerous amount of key doors that are here. But with the indie key, we don't have to worry about that. Because Fred finds level 2, man. We're just rocking.
All it took was a little bit of fire, and away we go. Oh, a Goma right off the bat in level 2. Hopefully not hiding anything.
Ooh.
This is the worst room.
I may just... My thoughts on this is I know where Red Ring is. I'm probably going to bail if it's Dark Nuts. And Fred, I think, having the same idea. That is just too much to deal with right now.
Yep, come back later. You've got a chance at that red ring. You know where it is. No point in digging too deep and getting yourself into time trouble.
Nice little ladder block there in level 1.
Oh, Fred wanted to open up that little spot up there.
Hey, free Triforce. And a shoot room. That's always fun.
With this Swiss seed, how important is combat as opposed to routing?
I would say equally important. You still have to get through 5 dungeons. You still have to find items. And if you get rooms like this, I mean, where you're required to clear this room to actually get anywhere, I mean, combat does come pretty important.
Again, I don't know if we had a chance to mention this, but this is a Swiss seed, which means they only need to find 5 Triforces before level 9 is open. And those important items can be in level 9.
Maligord, try to line up for the swordless clip here. It's pretty close. Almost had it.
You can do it. Oh, and that rope escapes.
Yeah, it looks like he might just leave and try to do it with the candle here. And Fred just not having any luck finding that item. Did a great job, however, clearing out that red darkness room. Oh, man, and the traps. It looks like he's getting to the right pixel. He's just not maybe getting the 1-frame tap. He does need to go down a little bit farther. You need to go down 16 pixels.
How much more difficult is this without the sword?
It truly depends on your ability to 1-frame tap. For me, it's not too difficult because I have a really good system with, I reach across with my right hand and I can tap really well. I have a controller that really cooperates with that. But if you don't have a good controller, some people play with PS4 controllers or whatnot that sometimes don't 1-frame tap very well. It can be pretty frustrating.
And Maligord did come away with the flute, so he'll have some opportunity to take down some dig doggers. And maybe, red candle for Fred in level 2. So he's going to go back to the Triforce and he'll finish up.
Yeah, how convenient to have a red candle under a burn bush, but it's still a very nice pickup early on. I like it for likes, for Gibdos and the such things. Makes it really nice.
Yeah, always good in bubble rooms too when you've got those types of enemies.
All right, and a heart container. Guaranteed red ring for Fred now, which is just, beastly. Did he grab the... Oh, I was going to say,
no,
Fred.
Grab the Triforce yet. Come on, Fred, get it together.
I've done that too. And I'll just I thought I got that Triforce. I guess I didn't.
Now, if you're Fred, are you going straight for the red ring?
Absolutely. He's done everything else on this side of the map. So I would burn here and then scroll back across and pick it up and then head back over. Because you're not coming back here for anything at this point.
No, I think the entire side's just about cleared out. Other than the coast, we have not seen the coast.
As we find level 8.
Get the ring and come back, Fred. That's going to be a good find for you.
I agree with this 100%. There's no reason to make it more difficult than you need to. And you'll save a lot of time not getting wrecked by things. As we see any roads now for Maligord. So far, pretty nice. I mean, we got clear down at the bottom of the forest, and it takes you to Death Mountain. So,
Maligord still needs to make his way down to the southwest. He's only got a couple more open caves to check. He's got to be feeling like that sword is down there in the bottom left.
Yeah, the early sword really paying off for Fred. It's unfortunate again when that sort of thing happens, and with the red candle, wood sword, 6 hearts and a red ring,
and
you're pretty much in go mode, and any key, and a free Triforce at 8. Why not?
Everything turning up, Fred.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know that you even dip back into 8. I think you go and you find other dungeons at this point, and never mind, he's gonna go back in.
Yeah, at this point you have all the offense and the defense that you really need. What you need to find are the other items. Now, of course, there are 2 items in level 8, but you're going to need probably more than that. It's very doubtful that the bow and the silvers are both here.
I mean, the good thing about having the Triforce already is that you don't need to look for anything but item rooms, which makes exploration a lot easier. So yeah, I mean, we'll... And his could be one right here, so...
Yeah, it's always good to skip that combat.
And the power bracelet.
Power bracelet, okay. Good to find early on. That way you don't have to backtrack if you come across those spots where you can move the rocks. Still looking for a lot of levels, though.
Yeah, I mean, we've only found 4 levels already, and we've cleared a lot of the overworld. I mean, we pretty much just have some of the grave and Death Mountain left, so the power bracelet and the recorder could end up being something that's very important to have.
Also, very high money seed, so I don't think that we'll run into any issues with cash.
Well, what am I talking about?
Here we go. Fred's got the ladder.
Easy game.
And he could just bounce out. That's it. That was the quickest 8, I think, of all time. At what point do we call Fred a cheater? I mean, he made this game, and maybe he made this seed just to, troll everybody.
It could be. I mean, Fred is integrated into the code, so you never know. So yeah, I mean, the question now is, where are the rest of the levels? I don't think Fred's bombed up in the northeast yet, so he'll eventually find level 1 when he does so. So we do find 7.
And I don't know about you, but I'm going to take a quick peek, and then I'm going to probably immediately leave if I don't find anything real fast.
Yeah, I'll generally give it 5 or 6 rooms, and then I'll bail.
Oh, some red greeters are nice. Get some bombs and stock up.
Oh, the keys.
Fred with 2 quick Triforces and 2 big level clears, and we're getting a bomb upgrade also. Oh, a lot of money for just 2 bombs.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, as you said it before, it's high money. There's not a lot that he needs to buy, so there's even just 2 bombs is always worth having.
Always comes in handy in level 9. If this is an item.
Oh my gosh.
My. This is absolutely crazy. Fred is just picking every right direction right now.
6 rooms to get a white sword. You see to go back in for the Triforce?
Okay, Fred, get your hand out of the cookie jar.
This is an interesting play. I would definitely not go back in, but things are just coming up so easy for him. Why not?
Hopefully Maligord about to make his way to the southwest. He's really running out of caves here.
He does find the red ring, though. He's unfortunately not going to be able to pick it up, but at least he has that knowledge now.
And we have the ladder, so nothing's going to stop us now. Keep going, Fred. You might as well.
Yeah, the bold play. That is not the room we're looking for. So Maligord does up A, which is super unfortunate.
And we are approaching 20 minutes without a sword here. It's got to be getting frustrating for Maligord. He's going to go check level 5. Nope. Oh, he's going to check this cave where he got bopped earlier.
Ah, yes. The disappointment, I'm sure, is going to mount very quickly. Man, Fred...
get there. Oh.
Ah, man, and dying again is just... That's painful.
That's one of those where you grab the controller and feel like you're about to snap it in half because you're so angry.
Yeah, the best way to probably get through that is to try to candle boost through them guys as much as possible. I know you only have one charge, but you can get through most of them that way. Yeah, I mean, Antlers44 making a good point in chat. This is a very easy enemy set. You're not dealing with Wizrobes, you're not dealing with Dark Nuts, so while it is 33 rooms, there are 33 easy rooms, so I can't necessarily disagree.
Yeah, and level 1, I think we saw, was full of a lot of bad things.
Yeah, Fred is currently holding a very commanding lead, but as we know, lots of things can happen.
Yep, you can't ever count anybody out in these. It's let's say Fred's on top now, but in 10 minutes, Maligord could be sitting in the catbird seat. It's just the way this seed goes. And Maligord finds himself level 2. See how much exploration he does. I can't remember if the item in here was free or not.
It was not free, but it was a red candle, which would be a nice thing for him to grab. But he's unfortunately doesn't have any bombs, so he can't even go anywhere. Fred heavily gets the compass. There you go.
Fred about to have 3 Triforces before Maligord finds his offense.
Yeah, it's painful.
Fred has the ladder also, which puts him in a position where he really can't get stuck in a dungeon unless it's Goma block at this point.
Or Dig Dogger. He hasn't gotten the recorder in a 1 yet, but you know, it's just you still have to find bow and silvers though. So, I mean, we're still missing 2 pieces to the puzzle, and we're still missing 4 levels on top of it. But you know, otherwise, you've got white sword and red ring and the any key. Basically, the best offense defense that you're really going to get in this, unless somehow you manage to get the heart containers and it's a low magical sword, which is very rare. So he's blazing at this point, and he does find level 4.
Most of our levels on the east side of the big lake in Hyrule, again, and Maligord, 22 minutes in, gets his sword, which is great. Now he can start making things happen.
Yeah, he actually got that at 22.2, which is pretty impressive overall. But yeah, I don't know that Fred's even going to take the time to go back for the wand, as Buletta was asking. There's no reason at this point. It's so far out of the way. Even maybe if you go back to level 5, but I don't think it's really at the forefront of his mind at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much exploring he's going to be doing for other levels right now. I'm sure he'd love to find level 1 on the way, but at this point, you know, if you find anything, either the bow or the arrows here, you're going back to level 5, and you're probably going to clear that out and then find 9.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder, you know, once you do get the Triforce here, right? You still haven't found level 9, and you know that there are some easier, still level 3 and level 1 out there. So I wonder if he's going to make the choice to, as you were just saying, just go to 5 and then try to look for 9, or maybe try to find one of those easier dungeons before going to level 5 on the way to finding 9.
Probably a better idea. And we could see our item right here. Patcher blocked, of course. But because Fred has all the offense in the world, won't be much of an issue.
Yeah, I mean, you could yeah. Doesn't do anything to him. It's terrible. Maligord does get his 5th heart container. So we'll see if he checks the red ring. We don't know if it's 5 or 6. As Fred burns the block.
I think Maligord's going to make his way to the red ring, see if it's going to work out for him. And he's taken some pretty tough bops in some tough places, so probably feel good to be able to have that defense at this point.
Yeah, especially having to navigate this nasty Lionel screen before it.
With Fred finding things so, I don't want to say easy, but making all the right decisions, do you feel that maybe Maligord he feels Maligord's right behind him in making some of the same decisions?
Unfortunately, Maligord, the book for Fred, which is fantastic. Maligord not able to get the red ring. But to answer your question, with that sword location, it's a 50-50 for me because, again, I'm probably the guy that gets it at 22 minutes. And so at that point, I'm feeling behind. But if I get it early, I also feel like, well, what are the chances that my opponent came down here early as well? And generally, it's about 50-50 just because it really depends on your routing and what you choose to do and when you find a candle and when you get bombs. So Fred's still digging through level 4 here. Finds his Triforce. 4 being his 4th.
4 Triforces in. He knows where level 5 is. He can make a play for a 5th, but like you said, probably not a bad idea. We have not really seen Death Mountain at all.
Fred actually going to find level 1. Because the next place that he's going to run into is going to be Heart Rock. Or Monocle Rock. As I say that, he goes down south of the desert. So going to take a slight detour. Maybe we will run into another dungeon, but I don't know that we ever saw the second item in level 1.
I don't think we did.
So, I mean, it could be hiding there.
Because only the recorder was in level 1. That's all that Maligord was able to find with that nice clip that he did without the sword.
Oh, right. And the enemy set was absolutely horrible. So, yeah. And lots of money here for Fred. So, when he does run into that hint game, he's going to be able to purchase those up. And we can get lots of nice hints about level 8 and the ladder being there. Keys and blue rings, which we need neither of. And we do get a ladder over on Maligord's side. So he's got to be feeling good now. He finally got a sword. 4 minutes later, he's already got his hands on the ladder and the power bracelet to help unlock some extra locations. Going to get his first Triforce as well.
Yeah, and we know that if he makes some of the right plays, he's going to find those 2 items real quick. And he's got the advantage on Fred. He knows where level 1 is. So he knows he only got 1 item from there, but he can always go back for some more.
It looks like Fred will end up actually getting the wand routing around this way. So I like what he's done here. He's going to be able to pick up the wand, catch all these forest burn spots and such, and maybe just loop back to level 5 like we were talking about. Maligord on the board.
Does the wand add damage even with the white sword?
If you got to deal with Dark Nuts, absolutely. And it looks like he is going to go to level 5. I don't know if he even has burned the rest of the forest, but he is going to make this double clip and wrap right around to level 5.
Makes it look real easy.
So you called it.
I don't know what I'm feeling here, but I feel like the bow or the silver arrows are going to be here.
Oh my gosh. Did you just the premonition confirmed?
And then he's going to look for 9, and at that point, he's just in go mode looking for level 9, I would think. That's the move that I would make.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think everybody's kind of the consensus that once you get 2 of the 3 between ladder, bowl, and silvers, you just make your way to 9. And man, the prediction, the book paying off, awesome, giving away that hint. So Maligord also going to pick up a bomb upgrade here, and he is also going into level 7, so he could end up with the white sword as well. And if the bow is in a really weird spot, this could actually, propel Maligord back into this race.
Yeah, if Maligord can get the item quick out of here, make his way and find some other levels. But at this point, everything's just coming up Fred.
I mean, 29 minutes in, you're about to get your 5th Triforce. You know that the silvers are in the dungeon that you're in. Maligord doesn't get a white sword, so that he's going to feel good about. He, however, does not get the Triforce.
Fred going to dig for the Triforce and then start digging for that other spots that are unopened. You would think that he'd finish officially clearing out this side of the map, which he would find 1 and probably do some digging in 1, which could save Maligord some time when he does that.
Yeah, Maligord going to go back into 2 here. Going to be probably fairly disappointed by the fact that it's a red candle. And man, the Vire are over 4 HP. That's always a little bit annoying.
I feel like every seed I've played has had max HP Vires. Not the best thing to find. Especially in a room like the NSU room. Timely clock for Fred. Easy room. Red candle, white sword, wand, red ring. Paying off.
And you have to imagine Maligord can search for the heart container here in level 2 just to get that extra one so he can get the red ring.
Level 2, one of the smaller dungeons, so he should find it. He's got the offense that he needs. Just needs to avoid taking some bops from these keys, and he should be finding it very soon.
Fred trying to get over here. Finally looks like he's going to find the way to the Triforce.
Again, with the skill level of these two, ladder clip, no big deal. That's an easy Triforce for Fred. And now the search is on for level 9.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, we feel like it's either got to be underneath one of the power bracelet spots or up in the Death Mountain somewhere.
Also could be under the Whistle spot, the Whistle Lake, Vanilla 7. I had that happen to me in my first race, where I got completely lost, and that was hiding under 9, and Tetra and I had a 2-hour seed.
Yeah, that's always entertaining.
It's surprising Fred doesn't just stay up in Death Mountain. Oh, here we go. He'll get a chance to do some exploring up here.
Yeah, it's always nice to knock out those any roads if it can eliminate an extra bomb spot. But yeah, we will finally get to see some things here. Shout out to Lack Attack there.
Finally get a chance to see some spots open up in Death Mountain. Hasn't really been much need to go up here. Everything's been in the east.
Yeah, and if you find level 3, I mean, it's like, it's not a lot of rooms. Do you check it?
You have to, because all you're looking for is a staircase at that point. We have enough Triforces. Run. It's a smaller dungeon. Look for the staircase. Wait, look. You find the banana, and then we keep looking for level 9. I don't want to make any more. I don't want to make any more predictions, but.
Oh, and Fred read my mind. I'm like, man, do you take a heart? Nah, let's get a potion. We've got a red ring. We're not getting magical sword. So yeah, now has 7 hearts, red ring, and a potion to boot. And he's going to find level 1 here.
And he's certainly going to take a look here. One disadvantage is he's actually going to have to do some combat here to find the floor item.
Oh no!
Oh!
Now he's got half a potion. Select swap
Unfortunate.
Y. And then he up and A's.
If that's the only bad thing that happens to Fred this match, I think that he'll be okay with that.
Yes, but he cheats the system he had just saved, and so he just retries and gets it back. Oh, that's great.
That was a very smart play by Fred. Very smart play.
Okay, Triforce from Maligord finally at a level 2 has his 6 hearts, can go pick up a red ring.
And this will be the recorder for Fred.
Does get his Tutti Flute. I wonder if he will continue. I would imagine you have to.
Yeah, you've got all the offense and defense you need. Go through and find that floor item. Also possible you run into a hint at this point, right? I mean, there might be somebody hiding in here with a hint.
Yeah, the old man could have the hint. I believe Shuffle Text is on, which we will see right here. Oh my gosh, what a hint!
Here we go.
Wait. Have we bombed all the spots in the northeast? Because if we have, that means it's on the raft spot.
Oh, I think we have bombed all those spots. Well, maybe not all of them. No, Fred has not bombed up there.
But did Maligord? I don't know that he had bombs. There's that one spot left you can bomb south of the letter cave.
Wow, things just got real interesting.
Oh my gosh, this Maligord's also back in level 1, but doesn't have the book for that hint.
Again, the routing just comes into play so much here. Fred just gets stronger. I know I said I didn't want to truly see, but I'm really kind of hoping Fred doesn't find the bow here. I really want it to be the blue boomerang. I want to see Maligord get a chance to catch up here a little bit. Little virtual high five between Maligord and Fred. Both going the same direction. And Aquamenus, what are you hiding? The blue boomerang, of course.
Oh, Fury would be proud.
Maligord now has his third Triforce. He's only a couple away from making some things happen. Again, getting a chance to catch up if Fred's going to keep digging. Fred going to check up here to see if there's a level 9 spot.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of a bummer.
Fred, 36 minutes in, already in 9, just needs the bow. So he's going to check every staircase. What is your strategy coming into 9? You're a veteran player of Zelda. What's your strategy here?
Well, yeah, I always try to go up because that's the best way to hear for Ganon. But I'm also a person that I don't like to take staircases, which got me into trouble week 1. I will just take key doors because I feel like a lot of people don't use that strategy. They'll take staircases and they'll, because it does eliminate another staircase. But at the same time, I like to just linearly explore. It helps me in my mind because I don't physically map level 9. So when I'm jumping all over the place, it makes it really hard for me to keep track of where I've been and such. So I just like to go north if at all possible. And then, I'll branch off where I need to, but I do not like to take staircases.
We do get the Wizrobe set in 9. Normally would be a problem, but Fred has everything he needs. And full potion. Maligord finding himself in level 5. The only items we have not seen are the OG banana. And what else are we missing here? The bow and the raft.
Yep.
So he's got a 2 out of 3 chance to...
And the heart container.
And the heart container.
Fred uses a potion there. I can't say that I blame him. It's really annoying to die in the middle of 9 exploration. And man, Patra's just absolutely everywhere. So if Maligord is going to search out the item here, which I'm pretty sure that he's going to, he will end up finding the silver arrows, which I'm sure he's going to be super happy about.
And then grab himself a quick Triforce out of here. And again, Fred might have to do some more exploring too. But then we just have to find level 3.
Yeah, so here's like the interesting case of things, right? So Maligord's going to get his 4th Triforce out of here. If he doesn't find level 4, and perhaps finds, say, level 6 or level 3, and searches out the item there, and it happens to be the bow, that could really flip this on its head.
Absolutely.
Fred finally finding a bomb wall. And Maligord does get those silvers. He's got to be happy about that pickup.
And Maligord's played a really good match. It's just the way that Fred went, just sort of, they made one diversion at the very beginning, and that was it. It was the chase was on for Fred. And
yeah, I mean, really, the only thing that separated these two is about the 10 minutes that it is right now of finding the wood sword. I mean, otherwise they have pretty much the exact same stuff. It's just Fred got a sword quicker, and so he started being able to do it faster.
And you're Maligord, you're 40 minutes in, you're about to get your 4th Triforce. It's still pretty good pace. I can't imagine he thinks that Fred's in 9 already.
Yeah, I mean, again, for me, it's 50-50 because even it doesn't really matter what level the opponent is. It just depends on with that sword location, did they go that way first? And if they didn't, then we're probably about even. If they did, then I'm probably roughly 10 minutes behind at this point. Because generally you want to find the sword by about, I would say, 12 to 15 minutes at the latest. You could almost fully explore as long as you don't do anything else. And so, getting it at that 22-minute point, in my mind, I say I'm probably about 10 minutes behind.
Still haven't heard anything from Ganon on Fred's side. Maligord's still looking for the Triforce.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think just died in the Triforce room, which is pretty brutal.
Fred making pretty quick work of this level 9.
Unfortunately, itemless still at this point.
I lost track of the staircases, but
I think he's found 4, maybe 5.
also good to have those squishy red whiz robes. Red whiz robes. There we go. That's how you say that.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, with fires not dropping, bombs because they're more HP than you can kill, it's definitely going to be helpful to be able to get bomb drops in here via those red whiz robes.
And when you're in full search mode like Fred, every bomb's going to count.
I mean, there are Gibdo as well, which also helps, but yeah. And hey, why not? A pack on the floor. All right, this is like, should be like staircase number 5, if it's not the actual item.
We still need to find 2 of them.
And it's a heart container.
The plot thickens.
The clot thickens.
Heyo. Fred needs to find another staircase. He's got to keep digging before he decides that he's got to turn around and find level 3 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, this is really another decision point, right? Because it's, for me, once I found that first item in the last seed that I did, I felt like, okay, I don't know. I've got enough other places to check. Let's go check those. And you never know if it's going to be the right decision. And so you kind of just have to make that judgment call, especially if you don't know where the dungeons are, which Fred doesn't. He doesn't know where any of the other dungeons are, so there's exploration time as well. So you just kind of have to weigh which option that you want to take. Do I want to look for this one item, or do I want to look for some other dungeons?
Yeah, I guess it comes down to, do you want to make the math decision, or do you want to go with your gut? And I'm more of a gut player myself, so if I'm not feeling it after the first item, I'm going to go find something else, and sometimes it gets you in trouble and sometimes it's not. But again, it's that whole 50-50 aspect of this whole seed.
Yeah, that was staircase number 5. So only, 4 staircases left in the dungeon that we haven't found. And he's going to make that 3 after this little trip here. Poor Maligord, unfortunately, just not finding the Triforce.
Still on the wrong end. He's going to find that... Oh, here we go. He's not far from it now.
Yeah, that compass is actually going to help a lot. Fred does find the bomb wall. Another possible staircase room here.
The old man said that the Wizrobes guard the compass. Could this be a compass drop here? Or is it only Wizrobes in those kind of rooms?
I think the way that it's set up is the hardest enemy in the room, so it can definitely work. As Fred takes an orange beam down to half a heart now. Oh my gosh, we find the 6th staircase. So level 9 getting the revenge for how easy level 8 was. As Maligord gets his 4th Triforce.
See, he has a Triforce out at 8. He could make a play to go towards 7. He does know where that is. But that won't do him any, that obviously won't help him. Other than to get him a Triforce.
No,
well, we just heard Ganon, I believe.
And he's going to find level 4 here, which means he's going to have the same Triforce as Fred. Oh, and it is the bow.
And I'm pretty sure we just heard Ganon in the previous room. This is going to end very quickly.
Wow.
Maligord going to go make his way through level 4. Fred just making all the right decisions tonight. This is what's going to give him the victory here. In a very friendly room to find Ganon.
Oh, yeah. Fight is pretty, extremely easy in this room. There are so many worse options available. Namely, basically every room. Yeah, so Fred just bulldozing through this seed.
Fred hoping to run in some Wizrobes, I'd imagine, find that compass.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not on the floor, I don't know that I even take time clearing things. I just run as quickly. Oh, never mind.
He's right there. Just got to find his way in.
Man, we got to quit talking about things because it just happens. Yeah, and I mean,
just a few rooms away from cleaning this one up.
Barring a troll. Oh no, you can't get to her that way. Can you go up? Can you go right? Thank you, we know this information. Burn the Tektite. All right, you can, in fact,
here we go.
Left or go right. So yes,
that's
we'll be able to get there.
GG's for Fred.
And actually, it's a Triforce room. You got to walk all the way around. All right, so Fred finds Ganon. Official time of 47:24. Man, what a seed by Fred!
Just a blazing fast speed. Getting that offense and defense early really did help.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's really only about a 10-minute time gap here. I mean, Maligord has all the same stuff at about the same time if you subtract 10 minutes. It's just that the sword location and not going down to the southwest is really the major difference here.
We'll see if Maligord decides to continue. He's got to find probably looking for the item in Triforce here in level 4. Guess we'll see if we can get Fred in here for a quick chat before he runs off into the sunset. Maligord's still making his way through level 4, finding hid the Wizrobe enemy, trying to avoid the bops. Get out of there real quick.
Yeah, even with the red ring, this dungeon is by no means kind.
And it looks like we are, in fact, joined by Fred. Fred, really, really nicely done.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes they just fall together, and they fall together well, so...
You made just about every correct move in that race. Working your way to the south really helped you out. And that seemed to be the difference between you and Maligord in this race.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, Maligord didn't get his sword till about 20 minutes in.
Oh, yeah.
And by
especially
then
with the
you
sword
had
down
about
the bottom
3
corner.
Triforces, so things really worked out after you got that sword.
Yeah, I just got lucky. You know, once I got down there, got the sword, I just wanted to hit all the open caves, get the sword as quickly as I could. Actually, I almost forgot I had the candle, actually, after I grabbed it. But, you know, once I got down there, I was able to get into the dead woods, get the sword, and I just said, okay, let's just get some of the area near start, hope to get a heart container, and then go back over to get the red ring, hopefully. But fortunately, I found level 2, so we were able to get that without a problem. And at that point, then it was just a case of trying to push and go as quick as I can. You know, Maligord's a really good player, so I knew that anything that may have felt good, you know, he could have very easily hit. So I was trying to keep the pedal to the metal and hope that I could find everything.
What were you feeling after you found that heart piece in level 9? Was there any part of you that wanted to leave and go look for another dungeon, or were you pretty much set on finding that last item?
At that point, I still needed to go because I didn't know where Zelda was, I didn't know where Ganon was, I didn't know where the second item was, and at that point, I think I had, trying to look at my map here, something in the neighborhood of 4 of the transport staircases already found at that point, so I was definitely worrying. It may have even been more than that, but I just knew I wanted to keep digging at least to try to find where Ganon would be, and then maybe something, you know, and whatever the second item would be. You know, with the important items in 9, you kind of got, you know, it's harder to decide exactly which way to go at that point. But the sheer information I was going to get with things, plus the fact that there were only 2 other levels I hadn't found, and one of those 2, well, we knew approximately where it was. But either way, I still was going to have to go hunting for the other level. I said, let's at least try to get the information out of 9.
You had a pretty quick level 8. You also decided to go through level 7. What was the thought process of that?
I was there. At that point, I had Red Ring, and I was hoping either get quick Triforces. I think basically my first few rooms I went through, looked around, saw that the enemy set wasn't too bad. And then at that point, I just, you know, especially once I found the item, I just almost felt like I was a little bit committed there to try to keep going through. Again, it was a level that I knew where it was. And, you know, in this type of flag format, since you only need the 5 Triforces, if I can run around like a madman and get lucky and find those, you know, it might work out. It depended. I mean, obviously, I didn't find level 1 until after I found the 5 Triforces. That probably would have been a slightly faster Triforce to get through, but you know, at the time, I just said, let's at least take what we have and go, so that way if we do find 5 levels and get the Triforces out of them, at least it's an option to go to 9, as opposed to possibly having to come back there later on if something turned out to be blocked by something.
Yeah, your routing was almost perfect in this one. Do you have a strategy that you come in with, or do you just kind of go with the flow?
I mean, it really depends on what I have and where I am. In Start of the Seed, typically my goal is to get the Armos item, which turned out to be really useful on this seed, being the magical key. But then after that, just hit the open caves. I really need a sword, and ideally a candle as well. And then from there, it really all depends as to what I have and where I am. So when I found the sword in the bottom corner, I almost continued on to the grave, and then remembered I had a candle. And typically what I try to do is, if I'm going to go through an area, I want to make sure I have all the resources to handle the full area. And so I said, well, you know what? The red ring's kind of close by. Let me go clear out near start, because now I had bombs. Now I had a candle. and then hopefully get enough hearts, as I said, to swing by as long as I was still in the area, get the red ring, because the defense was going to be huge, because once I had that, in theory, I could just run rampant through the levels, hopefully, and tank damage, and hopefully not die much. And then once I was able to get the heart containers and stuff around there, just came down to, okay, well, how many caves can I hit at a pop and avoid Death Mountain, just because it eats up a ton of bombs if I can, if I don't have to.
Yeah, and Geno's definitely made mention of you making that move, and because I thought you for sure you're going to the grave at that point, but he's like, there's a couple places you got to burn, and that really changed your trajectory at that point and led you to a different way.
Yeah, as I said, I completely forgot I picked up the candle. Actually, I was planning to walk over to the grave, or I was either debating that or definitely was debating that move, and then, as I said, just happened to hit things just right and said, oh yeah, shoot, I've got the candle. And so I said, let me at least burn the dead woods and, keep going from there and pray.
Maligord's still working his way through level 9 right now. He's, again, not going to be very far behind you. It could possibly be a sub-hour seed for him as well. So it was just a really quick seed. You guys did really nice work.
I think, yeah, I mean, fortunately, most of what we needed ended up being good spots. The gamble in 9 pays off if you happen to get to where the bow is there, hitting that one bomb wall. And, if you clear out the Patra in that room the first time, then you hear Ganon, as opposed to me, where I thought I heard Ganon somewhere else and had to revisit some rooms to find out, no, he wasn't there. Had a lot of coverage, actually, on that level 9, so hopefully Maligord will take far less time in there.
Yeah, hopefully so. Again, hopefully he's not too disappointed about what he's doing, because literally it came down to just a couple moves that you had made, and he's not going to be very far behind you.
Now, I mean, Maligord, as I said, is a really strong player in terms of the way that he plays, and, having watched him in the past, and it's just going to come down sometimes to happening to take, one right turn versus the other, happening to go down to the southern corner to get the sword versus going around a little bit longer for that. If, the sword had been in a different spot on the map, he would have gotten it earlier and it would have been a completely different ballgame.
Absolutely. Well, Fred, appreciate you stopping by. Thanks so much. And we'll look forward to you in future rounds. I mean, you can stick around and chat with us a little longer while Maligord finishes if you like.
Yeah, I'm going to drop off, but definitely thank you guys so much for calling this. It's been a lot of fun. So, and everyone out there, please make sure to put follows out there, both for our lovely commentary team here, the tracker, to I believe Captain Green, who's doing the restream, everyone out there who's been putting this together, because these people put in a ton of awesome work. Not just running things, but also calling these matches, giving you insight, incredibly awesome insight. That'll be great to go back and watch. So make sure you give everyone the follows there, because they're awesome. And thank you guys, and have a good night.
All right, big
game,
GG's to Fred.
Yeah, so Maligord still kind of working his way through here, trying to find it looks like I was the northeast quadrant where everything was at, so trying to get up there. Unfortunately getting bodied a little bit by these blue wizards, but not too shy with the bombs here, trying to clear them out.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have the safety potion that Fred had when he was going through this earlier. Oh!
Fairy baited!
Brutal.
I hate that. If only he had picked up the superior boomerang.
Always a factor. I do like the persistence that Maligord has, though. He's really getting himself in here and getting himself a good shot to clear this out.
I mean, if you're pretty close to finishing, it's never a bad idea to do it, just because it allows you to get some extra practice in. This is the kind of stuff you need to practice: getting through 9, tracking 9, finding things the way you need to find them. So,
and fighting Patra in a reverse sea room.
That too. Possibly the only thing worse would be the scatter block room, which is really entertaining to fight a Patra in. So yeah, I'm not sure where the bomb wall is, but I know, as Fred was saying, there's one bomb wall that you have to get in order to go to the northeast, and he's just not finding it yet.
He's gonna take down these wizrobes. Not sure why. Maybe probably looking for bombs is what he was looking for.
I mean, fortunately, he's got a couple of heart drops and some fairy drops, and he's got his health back up as well. He's got 5 bombs, so he's looking all right that way. But unfortunately, taking the wrong direction, just trying to find the bomb wall that he needs to find.
Like you said, he's just going to be, 10, 15 minutes behind. He's basically essentially taking the same route that Fred took. Just need to get himself to the northeast. I don't think he's seen that hint just yet. And I think this is, I thought that was a staircase to the heart piece, but seems like it's been so long ago.
Yeah, there is this room too that he's been trying to get through. He does get enough bomb drops that he should be able to clear this out pretty easily. And he gets a fairy drop too, but this one fortunately shouldn't kill him. He's got enough life to get through here.
Nice. Very nicely done. That was just about textbook on Blue Wiz Robes.
Well, that certainly didn't go the direction we needed. I think the heart container was in the northwest. He also may be clearing out these wizard rooms because he did get the hint that the wizards guard the compass.
Okay, he did.
So we could also be looking for that. I mean, with the amount of exploration that he's done, you've got to be feeling that most of the important stuff is in the northeast at this point, just because of basically the columns that you managed to hit. You haven't found Ganon yet, so it's just one of those things where through the deduction of the rooms you've been connected to, you can kind of tell where some things are at. Get plenty of bomb drops, which is nice. And I believe this here was the heart container.
Still plenty of matches to come up in the Zelda Randomizer tournament this weekend. You see some action over Speed Gaming 6, Speed Gaming 3 coming up here in just a little bit. Slidic and Ice Blue on Speed Gaming 6, Crimson Avix and Dark Magician on Speed Gaming 3, and of course a full slate of matches tomorrow. Adaginos, will you be back doing some broadcasting then?
Yeah, I've got the one on the Speed Gaming 3 tonight, and then I'm on the Chesterk RC Drone tomorrow night, and Jay Coper and Zep Gedney on Sunday night, so I will be around.
Maligord's still trying to get to that side of the skull. It's a very difficult level 9 to navigate.
Yeah, there's one bomb wall, and that's it. And it's just rough. It's one of those level 9s that there's a little bit of luck involved. I think he's really fishing for this compass as well. Rough room. Fortunately, with the ladder in this particular room, you can really get them into a cool little pattern where they don't do anything but phase constantly, making it pretty easy to clear out. It's kind of the reason I think you never really see Wizrobes and River Rooms in the original game, just because they do get caught at like that, and maybe the developers knew that.
Hoping to find some more. Well, hoping to find the compass here. Actually, is what he's looking for. But at least get some bombs out of it.
So yeah, hopefully he'll bring up his map here in a bit, and we can see his coverage. But man, he's gotten pretty close to everything at this point. Over here on the west-hand side.
Go east, Maligord. Go east.
I know they say go west, young man, but really, we want you to go east.
Still making pretty good time in this seed. After almost a near full clear of 9.
Yeah, I mean, after you find the one item, you still haven't found Ganon or Zelda. You kind of have the general idea of where they're at, but at this point, you've got to feel, well, that item has got to be up there too. I mean, we see his map, and he's got to get into the second E column there a little bit. But other than that, it's all in the northeast.
Just nowhere to go.
And I don't exactly remember where that bomb wall is either. Not in any of those 3 rooms. Man, that's rough.
That's the entire quadrant was just blocked off. He's gonna try making his way this way to see if that's gonna make any difference.
There it is.
There we go.
That's the bomb wall we're looking for. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things. I blame the Patra, right? Nobody wants to screw around with the Patra, even with the red ring. But following what I would normally do, I would have ran right into the bow just because I try to progress north as much as possible. So this, again, is one of those things where if you're taking staircases, you don't do that. And, so you can have a really fast 9 because here's the bow. You hear Ganon. He's just right over here. So you got Bo, Ganon, Zelda, and all of 8 or 9 rooms, depending on how you choose to clear level 9.
Showing a little frustration with that bow pickup, lighting it on fire a few times, giving it a little Viking funeral. Got to be pretty frustrated knowing that he just had to bomb north just to find that bow, and we hear Ganon.
Yep, so now he knows.
Doesn't want a Hyrule driver here. Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately gets body. Fortunately, though, on the other hand, it's a very quick trip back to Ganon, so not too much time lost. It has to have a good general idea of where Zelda is just because he's explored so many other rooms of the dungeon and not found a shutter door yet.
Yeah, once he kills Ganon, he's only a couple rooms away, and they pointed out in chat that compass isn't far away too, so he'll know almost immediately where he's got to go.
And it's another one of those things where if you don't, I mean, this Patra just not giving Maligord a good time. If you don't clear this Patra and just exit the room to see if Ganon's there, you take this staircase, you don't get back here for a long time, so you don't hear where Ganon's at either. Patra, playing spoiler that way. So, I don't know, it's just, it's an interesting, it's cool that this happened, not that Maligord got lost or that it took Fred a long time, but again, it just shows how the diversity of doing level 9, how much it can swing either way. And on the other hand, taking that staircase could have taken you right by Ganon, which had the bow, which had Zelda there. So, you never know what's going to happen. A Hyrule driver is when you get a hug from Ganon. Ganon not being very kind either.
With the Patcher being gone, he should not have to worry about taking any bops on his way through here, and hopefully have enough hearts to take care of Ganon. Still making really good time, though. That's got to be frustrating, Maligord. Ganon's just...
There we go. Yeah, he was on the tile above where he needed to be there to get that good hit. There we go. Now he's got it.
There we go.
Unfortunately, when Ganon gets, that really weird pattern in the bottom corner down there, it can make it difficult sometimes to figure out where the heck he's going on the first initial hit. But does a really good job getting the stun lock once he gets that first hit in. And we should find a compass on the ground here pretty quick.
He's got to move left. I think it's to the room in the left.
I wonder if you could bomb up here. She was in the very top, I believe. So I wonder if you could bomb up and find her that way.
Well, we're not going to find out.
I don't. Nah, on a half a heart, I can't say that I blame him. As we do see the compass is here. Oh man. Traps, please.
Hang in there, Maligord. If I'm Maligord, I'm just absolutely frustrated, and I'm just so angry. But he's hanging in there. He's a real gamer.
Yeah, the extra deaths at the end just they're always super frustrating. But it happens. I mean, you're a bit frustrated because of. I mean, again, for me, like a 22-minute sword already gets me flustered, and so sometimes you just have to calm down and try your best to stay in the game and not get flustered because that can screw up the rest of your seed, and it's difficult sometimes because you feel like you're behind, and things finally started to fall into place really, really quick for him, which I'm sure helped. You find, oh, I got a free red ring, and I just found a white sword, and oh look, there are silvers, and so you find all those cool things that you need, and so again, he's not played bad by any means. It's just fallen behind a little bit because of the late sword pickup, and that's I really do think that's the difference here.
Now I think we're moving to a place to the left here. And that'll be his route into Zelda. Yeah, still a very, very good run.
Yeah, I think you actually have to go up again. There's no side entrance, so you have to go up and around from the top, which is really interesting, the way that happened. 3 behind I didn't notice that the first time around. Oh,
I would fire every silver arrow I had at that man at this point.
Bomb
That's
him.
what he's gonna do.
Burn him. Shoot him. Thanks for the info.
Oh, just get through, Maligord. Really good race. GG's. Oh, baby. Got stuck. GG's to Maligord. Really, really tough race. Good time. Nice work.
Yeah, I'll finish up with an official time of 1:12:10. Fantastic race, man. Just the way things fall into place. That's kind of the dichotomy of these flags, is that things like this can happen. One little decision point early on can make all the difference in the world. And if Maligord had gone Southwest 2, who knows what would have happened? Might have been 30 seconds apart. So it's just kind of the way it falls sometimes.
Yeah, it certainly can level the playing field. Absolutely. Maligord, really, really good player. Fred just happened to make some different decisions, and Maligord hung in there best he could. I think we might getting Maligord in here for an interview.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
Maligord,
sir.
we got you.
Hey, imagine going the correct way and putting up a sub 50 in this seed like everyone should have done.
Well, we were talking about it, and it just all of it really came down to early on is that Fred made a quick slant down towards the southwest and found that sword. And you were kind of on your way there, and then you found a candle, and I think you might have died right afterwards. And so then you took off to the northeast. And at that point, the only time difference in this whole thing is how much time it took you to get the wood sword after Fred got it. Outside of that, you got the red ring about the same time. If you subtract the time difference, the red ring at the same time, the white sword at the same time. You found silvers in 5 even without the book. Fred had gone to level 4 first and got the book, and then got the hint in level 5 that the silvers were there. So everything was still falling into place for you. It was just the little bit of time difference it took for you to get the wood sword initially.
Can I call cheating that the creator of the randomizer knew exactly where to go for the wood sword?
We may have mentioned that earlier.
No, of course I'm kidding. Fred's a great player, and I knew I was the underdog coming in. Just hope to avoid the the savers of the 1-in-1 bracket.
Oh.
But no, besides the wood sword, that 9. I explored half the 9, and again, imagine just bombing up after the 3rd room, and you've got the bow, and you know where Ganon's at because you heard him in the 1st room. So.
Mm-hmm. We kind of talked about that too. If you go back and listen back, Radio Rich G had asked me, so how do you do 9? And personally, I'm the guy who doesn't normally take staircases, even if I'm looking for an item. And so for me, I would have bombed up and I would have found the bow. But at the same time, there have been seeds where I do that and I lose because somebody takes a staircase, they go up a room, there's the bow, there's Ganon, there's Zelda. So, it's just kind of one of those 50-50 scenarios, but you're right. In this case, it was you go right up, and Fred killed the Patra and took the staircase and never went back there. He did most of the same stuff you did before going back there and bombing up.
Yeah, 9's the great equalizer. We say it a lot, but that's the thing. I guess he got done as I was still in 4, so it wouldn't have mattered. But just in the other racers, they go in. Somebody's got a big lead and they don't bomb up there, but the other guy does, and they're right back in it. So
for sure,
you never know in 9.
For sure, and we were talking about that. It's just because Fred for a bit had no sword. Fred had red ring, white sword, red candle. He was just finding everything, and you didn't have anything at that point. And then you got the wood sword, and it just started the same way it had for Fred. Everything started cascading into place for you, and you had knowledge of level 1, which Fred hadn't found that till later. He actually went into 7 and got the Triforce out of there just because he felt it was an easy enemy set. So there was kind of a difference there as well. But if you had gotten the wood sword earlier, this could have been absolutely anybody's game.
Yeah, and of course it's in the farthest place, possible place from the start screen, and I don't know, it was my last location. I actually had forgotten about that cave. I looked on my tracker and I thought Vanilla 3 was it, and I went into Vanilla 3 and it wasn't there. I'm like, wait, oh yeah, southwest, that's where it's at.
Yeah, and right before Fred had found the sword, I had made mention that if it's ever in the cave to the west of Vanilla 9 or in the southwest, I'm likely not finding it till the very last, because I don't go to those caves normally. Because if I don't have bombs, I absolutely hate going to either of those caves, just because I feel like I'm wasting my time because I would have to backtrack. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I even tried up there by Vanilla 9. I tried up there really early. I actually had no way to kill anything, and those red levers were all over up there. But now, no luck.
You did net a candle out of it, so both caves were actually useful this time around, at least.
Yeah, that's right. That's where the first take any cave was, and my candle, and man, that stupid red ring. I found it at 4 hearts, and okay, it wasn't there. Then I had 5 hearts, and nope, got to get another one. So that's another trip back, and that's where I felt like it was lost. The wood sword, of course, I knew I was way behind, but once I had to go back like 3 times to get that red ring, I felt this is probably not going to fall into place.
Yeah, and it's one of those things you have to double back for. You just absolutely can't skip the red ring. It's too powerful, especially if your opponent knows it's there. You can't skip it, especially with level 4 was brutal. Some of the rooms in level 9 were brutal. So, without it, this would have been a much different seed, I think, overall as well. But it's so powerful of an item, you can't skip it. But unfortunately, there was nothing else around it. So like you had said, having to double back constantly to get it definitely did cost you a little bit of time.
And it was also what I'd found. I knew I had level 2. I knew where level 1 was. I knew I was going to go back to level 5. I probably wasn't going to explore any more to find any more take any caves. So I knew I was going to be 6, 7, 8 hearts at best going into 9. I knew I needed it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, like I was saying, I don't think it matters how good of a player you are. You're not going to pass up a red ring like that. There's just, because even if you're the best Zelda player in the world, there are rooms that can absolutely destroy you. And if your opponent has a red ring and can face tank it, you're just making your chances of winning so much lower.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but man, again, good game. Kind of a tough break there, but he definitely played well, and I'm sure nobody wants to get you in the next round. The one run bracket is going to be a very interesting one to see. We start actually getting everybody matched up, kind of where their skill levels at, and there are some people that you wouldn't anticipate being 1-1 in the 1-1 bracket. So there are some tougher matchups as well. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. Maybe we'll get Saber versus BT or something like that. You never know.
That sounds good. Let's go ahead and write that in pen. Saber versus BT, so they are not against me in the next round.
You're still tough out, though. That was a really good match. You played really well.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. And thank you guys for restreaming it. Captain Green doing the restream. Alsoa / isolated on the tracking. And thanks you guys for the comms.
Anytime. Again, good game. I don't know exactly if there's anything coming up here right now, but that's all I've got. What about you, Radio Rich?
No, lots more action to come on the Speed Gaming 3 and Speed Gaming 6 channels with some more Legend of Zelda Randomizer tournament.
Yeah. So thank you again to our restreamer, our tracker, to you for your comms, to our racers, obviously Randomania for being a gracious host. We will catch you